everybody, my name's Jona. Thanks for checking out this video. Today I'm going to be doing my top 30 to 20 games.
Don't start without me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You barely did the top 10.
I did.
Barely qualified. Top 10.
Everyone loved it.
Yeah, thanks for backing me up, guys. Appreciate it. So what is this, your favorite pastimes of all time?
No, it's still games. That's another list. Don't you know how lists work?
So top 30 to 20, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we were doing 20. No one watches these lists.
No.
I mean, it's basically.
Okay, that's what I thought too. But I did a little poll, and I mean, 60 some people voted, and more than half of them say the more games the better. So I can
you asked for it. I found this list a lot easier to make because.
Me too.
Yeah, because the top 10 was like.
There's pressure.
Yeah, in a way, and you want to be honest about, okay, top 10 games that in the past year or so, well, we talked about it. It was like the top 10 games that I played a lot, I've been thinking about, and not necessarily, I don't know. Now on this list, it's just a bunch of games I like and which ones I like better.
Yeah. In some regards, the order almost doesn't matter. I mean, it does, because I thought about it kind of hard, but ultimately, like, these are all great games that kind of like switch order periodically, depending on how often I get to play them.
The order matters, but I didn't know. Originally, we did top 10. I thought that was the only list we were doing. So I wanted to make sure the games that were meaningful in the last 2 years were on the list. So it was a tighter list.
Right.
And this is just like a bunch of really good games, and then I'm ranking them.
That's how I felt too.
Which I guess is what some people expect the top 10 to be, but I don't know. It's just different. It's just different.
It is. Okay. So, would you like to go first, or should I go first this time?
Go ahead, you go first.
Okay, so my number 30 is Rhino Hero. This is a dexterity kids game, and we own a couple dexterity games, but this is by far my favorite. It is a small card game size box where you're actually, they made building a tower of cards into a game. And it's legitimately fun and challenging and great for all ages. So, I mean, it's Rhino Hero.
Okay, well, my 30 is not a crossover. It's a newer game that I just started playing called Minotto. And this is a video game.
Oh, gosh.
And it could almost be a board game. I'm playing it on Steam on the computer, but I think it was originally developed as a phone
app?
Yeah, like a phone game, but it's actually a good one because most phone games are garbage. And you have little stations that pop up that are shapes, and then other shapes appear in other stations, and you have to connect the lines and get the shapes to the shapes that they are. It's very simple and very satisfying, and it probably won't have a ton of staying power, but it's very a very nice chill game to play.
Yeah. I actually really want to play this game. It's fun.
Our 5-year-old loves it.
Okay. Hey, this is your little reminder to subscribe. Daniel is fixing his list right now, so.
My list doesn't need fixing.
Oh, really?
I'm perfecting it.
My number 29 is new to my collection this past year, and it's Genotype. It's a worker placement game, and it's themed around this science theme of identifying the genetic traits of plants. So I really enjoyed the historical nature of this game, but I also like that it is worker placement. It's, also has this really unique system where you're drafting die to accomplish your traits, to get your traits for your plants, so you can score goals with your little peapod plants. It's really fun, kind of unique, challenging, well balanced, and really beautiful. So that's why I threw it on here.
It is a good worker placement game.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest worker placement fan,
you're not, yeah.
But this is a decent one.
Yes. High praise from Daniel. Thank you.
Yeah. My 29 is City of Spies. I was gonna do a long. It's
Oh,
just City
I
of Spies. It's
forgot
this
about
weird deck building game where your deck are these cardboard pieces that are spies, and you're putting them face down in locations, and then the other players are placing spies, and you flip them over, and they have different abilities, and some of them check other ones. It's different than. It's hard to. I can't like compare it to another game. I don't know of another game off the top of my head that's like it. It's not real long. It's not real complicated. At first, I didn't know if I liked it, but every time I play it, I find it fun.
Well, you're trying to figure out like where your spy is gonna be able to triumph, and there's these different rooms you have to place them in, and you have to figure out, well, if so and so puts their spy that does this in this room, it wouldn't be so good. It's just interesting.
And you can.
And
it's a weird.
kind of
It's a
quirky,
weird
too.
like area control.
Yeah.
It's just it's unique.
It is
and it's fun.
unique. Yeah,
So,
good one. I'm glad you remembered that
but
one.
it's not on your list because you forgot about it.
I forgot. Yeah.
It is
It
kind of.
happens.
It's not the like. It looks fine, but it's not like.
Yeah, but I do like that game for sure. Okay, so my my number 28 is Flatline, and this was a game that was previously mentioned in our top 10, so you can check that out after you're done watching this video. But it is a real-time game where you're trying to save patients who are on this spaceship that is crashing. It's very hectic. And it's timed for 60 seconds where everyone does simultaneous plays where you're rolling dice and matching patterns to accomplish the, the challenges for that round. It's very difficult to win, but it's super fun. It's super fun.
It's not very difficult.
It's pretty hard.
It's on the difficult side of
It
things.
depends on
but
how you set yourself up.
for a cooperative game, it's winnable. It's very winnable. There's different levels too. I'm surprised this is so low.
We went through a couple rounds of it where we didn't do well, and I think if it wasn't for our like stick-to-itiveness, other people might have given up. Because it is pretty hard. I think it's hard if you remember back 6-7 years ago when we first got it.
It doesn't seem hard now.
It's kind of hard, but it's great.
It is
It's
fun.
really great, and it's got very cool dice. So, yeah.
Yeah. So low.
So low.
Yeah. No wonder you never want to play this.
Well, it's not that I don't want to play it. There's just other games.
Call it the new.
Yeah. No, not Call of the New.
Well, my 28 is Point Salad, and it's just a simple little 10-minute game, if that. That is rules light.
You sound so depressed about this one. This is such a delightful game.
It is delightful. It's delightful in its simplicity. It's
Yeah.
easy to teach to people. It's the card game we pull out with people who are like, I don't know if I want to play a game or not. I was like, well, let's just play this. It's over before you know it.
Yeah.
And then usually we play at least 2 games of it.
Yeah.
It's on the list because it's what we play with non-gamers.
I've explained it to different people, and often the reaction is this a game? Because the rules are extremely simple. You're just drafting cards, you're drafting vegetables and point cards. And that's it. But it ends up being really fun when you're scoring everything. And then once you realize how the scoring works, you want to play again right away to see if you can do better. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I shall go next. 27, right? So 27 is Codenames. I know that this will not be on Daniel's top.
Codenames. I forgot about this game.
This will not be a crossover, but I like Codenames. It is a party, it's a party game, and groups of any size, pretty much, you can only go...
As long as you can see the table.
As long as you can see the table, can play this in which, in its word association, you're going to have a leader of each group, and they're giving clues to try to get their team to guess the most words from
They know what this game is.
not everyone. Some
Everyone
people are
knows
new
this
to
game
the hobby and they haven't heard this
If you don't know what this game is, put it in the comments. I really don't think anyone doesn't know this game.
Names. Anyway, I do enjoy it. It's fun, and I don't get to play it very much.
Not with me, she doesn't. Well, my number 27 is one of the few games on this list that we don't own, and it's Root. Root is an asymmetrical
I'm really surprised.
war game. People call it a war game. I don't know. It's it is a little bit like Dudes on a Map, but with cute little forest creatures. This game, I like the depth of it, all the different factions. I haven't played it a ton. I played it several times. It was very popular when it came out, and for good reason. It's got fun artwork.
Sure.
It's not just gritty war.
It's more whimsical.
It's more whimsical, but it does have a lot of thinkiness to it, and
it's asymmetrical, so everyone's rules are different.
Yeah, they play a little differently, and I like games like that work, and this one works. So yeah, there are certain factions. A lot of my friends who have this have all the expansions, and so some of the factions seem a little bit like maybe not as well balanced as the other, but I haven't played it a ton, so it might just be like ease of difficulty of grokking. I don't know, or how to stop certain factions. But anyways, I would like to play this one more.
Good to know. Good to know. I would play it. I just haven't had the opportunity. No one's offered it to me, and I haven't been dying to play it. But I definitely would like to.
It's one of those that when it was at a lot of people were playing it, but the games would fill up really fast, and so it'd be like, well, I'll play. Someone else really wants to play it.
I'll get my turn in there.
No,
sometime.
I understand. Yeah.
My 26 is a game that has been on my top 10 for a really long time, and so it's kind of dropped off. And this is Mysterium. This is a game in which you're trying to guess the murderer and the weapon and the room, kind of clue-like, but the way that you obtain the clues is through these dreamlike image cards, and the ghost is providing these images. The ghost is kind of like a DM. They're kind of running the game of Mysterium, and they are trying to get all the players to guess specific clues that are out on the table. They're trying to guide you to the correct suspect or the correct weapon that's on the table by giving these dreamlike images to them so that they can somehow associate a clue with what's on the table. So it's very kind of along the lines of a party game, but it's very thematic, very dramatic. There's a big screen, the artwork is beautiful, the components are beautiful, and it's very much an event, and it's kind of great because kids can play. Everyone can kind of contribute and help the other people if they're stuck. And
we had technical difficulties, so we have to redo a couple.
So Mysterium, the rules are kind of loose, so it does lend to other ages. Because it feels like a party game and it does take a lot of effort to set up and play, and it's kind of a long game, it often doesn't fit into the party game situation, but it's still a fun one that I'm glad that we have, and I'm sure we'll play it again. We just don't play it very much anymore. And you've really cooled on it because it's just not your type of thing.
No, because it is too much of a party type game. I'm very bad at
anticipating how to get someone to guess.
Well, not even as the ghost, just as a player, I'm not good at inferring what people mean.
No, I understand that. But anyway, I still like Mysterium, and it's a really interesting game. I was 26.
Oh, man. Now you're not going to be surprised when I tell you that this is on my list.
I forget what it is
because we already recorded it. I gave Jona I roll my eyes at Jona because she always wants to play this game. We play this game so much. And it's Project L, but I do like the game. It is a good game, and it is a great game to play with people who aren't gamers, aren't used to playing games. It's a fun game to play after a dinner with a couple. It's just that we play this a lot. Still suggest that we take this if we're having a dinner at someone's house and bring a game. I'll still suggest to bring this because I know it goes over well. Yeah. And I do still enjoy it. I just don't enjoy it as much as we've played it.
Right,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, you appreciate that it fits a really perfect niche for new gamers. And it's easy to teach.
Seasoned gamers alike.
Seasoned gamers alike. It's just not to your taste, but you appreciate what it does really well. That it is great for new gamers and old gamers. And
the past year, this is probably one of our most played games.
Yeah.
And so I'm just I'd rather play one of the 25 games that are higher on this list sometimes, So, but it is a good game, Project L. And
it still means a lot that you put it at 26.
Oh, good. Good.
Okay, so 25 is Rallyman GT. And this is a game that was on your list.
Yeah.
And you probably weren't really expecting it to be on my list, but I do
Wasn't
like
sure.
it. We don't.
You always send me mixed messages about this game.
I do like it. I've come to like it, but I feel that I've only played it 3 times and I'm really not very good at it. So I think as I play it more, it may go higher on my list. Not that you have to win to like a game, but I just haven't had a lot of experience. But I like what it does. I like the dice rolling. I like that you can risk all the dice and maybe end up spinning out, or you can play very strategically. And when I think about the racing games that we have in our collection, this has become my new favorite. Like, I like this more than automobiles.
Yeah. Do you feel like you know when you don't win? Do you know why you didn't win?
Yes. I know the exact moment when I've lost.
So does that make it a better experience? Because it's less like frustrating, like I just couldn't do anything different.
Right, yeah. I definitely know when I'm not playing the smart move and I'm just going for it. But there's still nothing wrong with just going for it if you want to play that way. Like,
yeah, and sometimes it does pay off.
Yeah.
And
it is fun how it simulates racing, and that like the turn order is extremely important because you can really get crowded out, which is a huge thing that happens in racing.
Right, and
So
in turn order, not that like it's always better to go first or it's always better to go last. It's just important based on what you're planning to do and who's in front of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a strategic thing to think about.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm going to be behind these 3 people. Will I be able to get through? Or whatever the situation. Anyway, it's good.
I want to play this game some more. Trouble is, you need at least.
I know.
It's like you need 4 people to make it good, to make it fun. My number 25 is a little obscure game, and at first I didn't care for it that much. But my game group kept asking me to bring it back, and so it's really grown on me, and it's called Citrus. And Citrus, I forget the Spanish word for it, but you have orchards, you're growing these orchards, and you're placing workers out. It's area control. You're putting these tiles out and these men to control the regions. And it's very passive-aggressive, mean against other players. Like, it is.
It can be, yeah.
It's simple rule set and thinky. Like, the more guys you have out, the less money you make to buy more tiles. But the guys control the areas. And so if you take the guys back into your farm, you can score points that way. But then you don't control that area anymore. And so it's possible for other people to take over that orchard that you planted and to like swallow it up within their orchard. I don't know. It's just a good game.
I think what's interesting is like it seems like a puzzly tile placement game, which is something I really like and am drawn to. But as we've played it, I found it crosses over into something much more complicated with the way that you have to plan your turns. If you want to buy more orchards, you need money. So you have to really watch when you're putting men out, when you're going to need income. Area control is a big thing that I'm not very good at. So I think that's where it crosses onto something that I'm not very interested in or that I don't really care for. But it is very good and very interesting. Yeah, I kind of forgot about this game.
And it's fairly...
I forgot about this one too.
It's fairly eco-friendly.
Yes.
There's not plastic pieces everywhere.
Right. And it's an older game, and it's still, like, I bought it a couple years ago on...
Oh, you bought it?
On Miniature Market, and it was like, I don't know, it was like 40% off at that time. So there's still copies.
This one might be hard to get just because I don't think it was very popular, not because it's highly sought after.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's still available somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's a good one. It's interesting. 24.
25.
24.
24.
24. Okay. My 24 is a flip and write called Welcome To. This was really popular a couple years ago when roll and writes and flip and writes were like all the rage. This one is probably the best one though. No, I shouldn't say that. I don't know.
It's the best one I've played to my liking.
Why I like it is that it plays a huge group of people. As long as people can sit around the table and see what cards are being flipped, multiple people can play it. Like, seriously, as long as they have the little tablet and pencil, they're good to go. I really think that's neat to have in your collection. And also, it's really good. It's challenging. It's pretty simple. It's this system where you're like filling out numbers and you're putting it on your sheet and you're trying to check off as many houses as you can. and you get higher and higher points the better you're able to do that. You can also check off pools and
it's like all the other ones. But what's great, what the nice thing about this is one of the first ones we played where everyone's just doing it at the same time.
Yeah,
you're not taking turns
very
with
relaxed.
dice.
So,
yeah, this
welcome
one
to it.
is definitely, I've definitely cooled on this one.
Yeah.
We just played it so
Well,
much.
we never really play any role. This is the only one that has stuck around.
Yeah, we still own it, but we haven't played it recently.
We haven't played it recently. It was a game that we were kind of using to take to lighter events for newer gamers. And we have new games in our collection like Project Dell or Karuba that we would play instead of Welcome to. So, but it's still good. I like it.
Yeah. My number 24 is a very long game, but I like it a lot. It's Letters from Whitechapel. And this is a hidden movement game where someone's Jack the Ripper and the rest of the players are the policemen trying to catch him. I think a lot of veteran gamers don't like this game very much, but I like it. I like the simplicity of it.
I wonder why that...
I think some people say it's too simple. I like that it's simple. I like that look, you're just trying to catch the guy. There's not like all this other fluff. You're not trying to fight him, or it's not like
No, you just
the
need to
Dracula
locate
game
him.
where you're trying to fight him, you know.
And it's hard. It's hard to find where he is.
Yeah. And this game usually takes longer than it should. I think that's another reason why people who played it before kind of maybe don't love it. But that's controlled by the people who are the policemen, because there's no time limit on how long they can confer. So sometimes it drags out because people take a very long time to decide what they're going to do. I mean, you could solve that with just putting a time limit on it.
Yeah.
But usually it's okay.
Yeah, but it is a really neat game. It's all against one, and so we found that if someone's not sure they're going to stay the whole night, it's okay if they leave. Or
Yeah, as
if
long as they're not
someone's who's
Ripper.
kind of apprehensive of playing any games, they can kind of like sit in and
Yeah,
contribute.
I played this surprising
great.
amount at
Yeah.
parties where not everyone's maybe wants to play a game, and some people are like cool about it. And as long as you have someone who's really into it as Jack the Ripper, the rest of the people can kind of come and go as they want, and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
So
yeah, cool. I like it. Finally, back to where we were.
23.
This is 23. Okay, 23 is a game called Sangrata, and this is a game that I have played for a very long time, and I still love it. It's beautiful. It's themed around the Sagrada Cathedral. We're using dice to complete patterns on these stained glass window, like little puzzle card holders, and it's very much one of those games where you are kind of playing solo. There is a public pool where you're drafting dice, so that's the only thing. Other people could draft your dice from you, but that's pretty much it. Everything else, you're just trying to fill out the correct pips and the correct colors for the puzzle that's in your stained glass window, and you get points at the end. It feels a lot like Sudoku, where you're just trying to like, okay, well this fits in, no it doesn't fit. Now I have to figure out where it's gonna go. I love it. I still like it. I've actually found I like playing it solo, which I guess that's kind of what you're doing. It plays smoother with a group, and it is nice to do as a group, but it's good solo too.
Yeah, I don't know. I've cooled on this game. I'm kind of tired. It didn't have staying power for me. It was fun to play the first 20 times.
There should be a staying power superhero.
It just, I mean, I don't know. After a while, it feels.
Yeah, I get it. It's not your thing.
I wouldn't suggest playing it. It's a decent game. But if you're completely new to this idea, then it's definitely a good looking game. Like another role player came out. It's another game similar, but this one looks nicer. My 23. This is a classic by many people's standards. It's my favorite worker placement game. I think it's my favorite worker placement game. Anyway, it's viticulture. Viticulture, you're growing grapes and making wine. And it's been around for a while. It's really good. I'm sure you've heard this before. It's really good with the Tuscany expansion. It kind of makes the game more whole. And I mean, that's the game right there. You can play with it plays well with like 5 people. Some worker placement games don't. It looks very pretty. It's got a theme that a lot of people can at least enjoy.
Appreciate, yeah. Wits and Rangers is my 22. This is
yeah.
another party
I didn't
game.
know you liked this that much.
Yeah, I do like it. I think when it comes to party games, it's one of the best. Again, you can play
This is a good one.
with a really big group, and it's kind of
Sort of. If you like play with teams, or it's not really designed for a lot.
I would say this falls in the category of like a Trivial Pursuit type game, except it's way better.
Except it's good.
Except it's good. And what you're doing is you are trying to answer questions that are provided. Like they might ask how many blue cars are in the state of Pennsylvania. And so you give your bet, like something like that.
It's just something like that. It's all the answer is always a number, and no one's gonna know the answer. So you're just guesstimating.
So you're guesstimating.
Yeah.
And then you get points if you are close, but you also get points for guessing someone else's answer that you actually are like, oh, that seems more educated.
Yeah, because everyone puts their answers out, and then everyone gets to bet which ones they think is going to be correct. That's why it's so much fun. Because you never have to be right. It's just fun to you see like, oh, I was way off. Everyone else was like 1,000 more than me or something, and you can,
And it lends to a crowd.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So it's great for Thanksgiving, and it's great for even like a bigger gathering if you need.
I think this is my favorite party game too.
Oh yeah.
It's not on my list, but because I'm not a big party game fan, but I've had fun experiences with this for sure. Yeah. My number 22 is Western Legends, which is a sandbox type game, and it really feels that way. You can be an outlaw or be a sheriff, or be an outlaw and then become a sheriff, or wrestle cattle. All the Western things. We don't have the expansion. We have one expansion, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or
The Good, the Bad, and the Handsome, or
yeah.
something like that.
Something legally different than Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
That one's a good expansion. It adds extra cards and stuff. We don't have the coach one. It just doesn't feel like it needs anything else. I feel like the game is.
I kind of want the train to complete the board.
Okay, well.
Just for aesthetics, though. I think it's great as it is.
It's fine without, though.
Yeah.
So this is one of those games where it's more fun when everyone's playing a Western role. And there's not a lot of Western themed games where it actually feels like you're in the West that we own. I know there's other ones out there, but this one is, you get into the theme. So
yeah,
I'm glad to have it. It just like hits the spot that if you want to play a cowboy in the West, I don't know what other game you'd play.
I know.
This is the game to play.
Right. You can pan for gold, you can steal cattle, you can play poker, you can go to the
You're just trying to be legendary.
Right.
So it doesn't matter how you become legendary.
You can be good or bad. And it's fun. I mean, you just let loose and let a Western twang come out and play some Western music, and it's great fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the last one on this list, 21.
Mm-hmm.
This is Century Golem Edition for me. Century
no
Golem
crossovers
Edition.
Then.
Okay, so Century Golem Edition is a very light family weight game. It's got a delightful theme. It has really fun plastic components. It actually has a lot of plastic in it. It's not super eco-friendly, but it is a game that we have played so much over the years. And it's kind of where you're trying to get Golem cards by collecting the correct gems. And there's this whole system of like, what is it when you're upgrading what you have?
Like
what is that
engine
mechanic?
building or
engine building, yeah, and you're
set
turning in what
collection.
you have to get more of what you need. But it's really fun. I've actually done a video on how I've made it simpler for playing with little kids, and I'm sure we'll just play it more and more as they get older. But yeah, it's a really great family game.
This is a game that I've played too much, and I just don't enjoy playing much anymore. You know?
That's fair.
But
Totally
it's a
fair.
decent game. It's just a game that we played a lot.
Yeah.
We played it a lot.
You can see like...
We played it a lot because we liked
yeah.
it. It's just that... Okay, I'm kind of over it now, but...
I'm not. I still...
Well, my number 21 is a game I thought that I might get over, and I haven't yet. I guess because we don't play it that much, and it's Ponzi Scheme. The game that Jona always makes sound so boring, and the cover looks so boring. But it's a fun poker-ish game. To me, it's like a a more gamey poker system because you're all trying to bluff each other with the amount you're trying to make the other person. Sometimes you're trying to make them think that like you're broke and you're about to go out, which would end the game. And if they don't have enough points to win, you can kind of see how many points everybody wins. So they might like sell you something or buy something from you so you don't go broke this round. Other times you're trying to portray that you have a ton of money when you don't. And you're buying and selling the points basically from each other in these blind bids where you'll put an offer in an envelope and send it to another player. So none of the other players at the table know what the offer is. And then they can either match that offer to buy that point token from you, or they can accept the offer and you buy the point token from them. It works really well. That's the crux of the game. It looks like a boring economic game, and it's really not. Like everyone, it's themed around everyone selling these Ponzi schemes, which is important. Like that's how you get money, and that's why you're going broke, because everyone sold these Ponzi schemes and they're running out of money. But that's not how you get points. You get points from these point tokens.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I like the bluffing of this game. I like that you don't know what the other person's offers are, and so like you'll put an offer to someone and be like, but they're not going to accept this. I know they're not. I know they're broke, and I just want the cheap, easy points. And then they buy your points from you, and they're like, oh crap. And then they're like, I really need points now, so I'm going to do a really big offer. And then I don't know. It just has a lot of fun dynamics. It does. You should give it a shot. If you see it, like ignore the cover. The cover looks really dry. So
yeah.
It's also a game that takes like the first 3 rounds. There's like a little of a primer to the game. So the first like 3 times you go around, it goes by pretty fast. The bidding doesn't really matter, and it goes pretty quickly.
But by the end of the game, you know what you need to do.
It's super tight. Yeah.
And then people say they don't like it because they feel like they're losing money all the time. And that's kind of where people go wrong. Like,
I don't know. But to me, I'm fine with it because the money really aren't points in the end. So
yeah, the money doesn't matter. Yay, I'm really glad that was on your top 20.
We should play it again soon.
Yeah, we should. I know.
That I'm bad at.
I'm really
very
good
bad
at
at Ponzi scheme. But I still enjoy it a lot. She is really good at this game, which is weird because you're really bad at lying in general.
I'm really good at poker, though.
That's because you're so bad at lying, it throws everyone off.
No one knows what's gonna happen.
She normally can't keep a secret from me to save her life.
Well, you're very rational when it comes to money. I think that's what holds you back.
You're irrational. I'm like, what is going on here?
I just need that industry token.
That's what it is. You're irrational, and then it throws me off because I'm like, if she was a rational person. No, but it's the people that are more flippant or like less concerned about like making sure the Ponzi schemes are gonna last. Those people tend to win more.
Yeah, it's the people that are trying to count the money and keep it going, keep their like crummy investments going.
Yeah.
If those people who try to keep it going the longest are gonna go bankrupt. It's only the people that are like, I'm just going to take this really crazy card and see what happens. Just keep it going one more round and someone's going to go out.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you're the one that busts, you automatically lose the game.
Yeah, there's no long game in this game. Just get to the next round. And you probably win.
I like playing the long game. And I always have plenty of money left over and I lose the game.
So that was 30 to 21. You guys...
We're not doing our 40 to 50 or 30 to 40.
Thank you so much for watching. You can check out our top 10. I'll put it like in the cards or somewhere for you to check out. And we'll see you in the next one.
Happy disc golf. Springtime's almost here.
Yeah, you're very springy.
Prepare for I'm willing it into being.
While Daniel's fixing his list.
My list doesn't mean fixing. Meaningless after a while. But they're also kind of fun to listen to. It's like,
So I just sneezed. Like that nothing you said will be used.
story of my life.
Okay, so which of the wagers I spit it out.
I'm just kidding.
I was just gonna start praying. Dear Lord, bless this food in our body. And yeah. What am I saying? What are we doing? Interesting game.
Sorry about the mic being in the way. We're talking about being professional.
Oh, I'm gonna edit it out. Don't say anything.
The mic was in the way the whole time.
No, it wasn't.
Actually a good one.
It was fun.
That's why we're not professionals.
Go ahead.